You call it a monster, a creature, a killer alien born from a nightmare. But that is the first and most dangerous lie. The Xenomorph is not a beast. It is not an apex predator that evolved in the dark. It is the perfect, genetically engineered bioweapon. And the real horror isn't the acid blood or the inner jaw. The real horror is the intelligence that programmed it. The creature's debut shattered the landscape of science fiction forever, creating a mold for every space horror that followed. But the truth is deeper and far more terrifying than the events on the USCSS Nostromo. The xenomorph we see in the shadows is merely the final, terrifying symptom of a much grander, darker design. A design that spans eons and involves beings whose power dwarfs humanity. Today, we're not just reviewing a film franchise. We are conducting an autopsy on the perfect organism, tracing its bloody lineage back to the architects who first unleashed it. We will uncover the secrets of its evolutionary perfection, why its very existence is a violation of natural law. And the terrifying question isn't if it exists, but what it was truly designed to destroy. To understand the weapon, you must first understand the armor. The xenomorph is a biomechanical miracle, a walking fortress engineered to be impervious to nearly everything we throw at it. Let's start with the most infamous trait, the acid blood. The creature's circulatory system carries a highly concentrated molecular acid. This isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a lethal failsafe, capable of dissolving multiple decks of a starship hull in seconds. It's a literal self-destruct mechanism that guarantees the creature cannot be recovered and weaponized by lesser races. You can't shoot it without dissolving the floor beneath you. You can't cut it without creating a biological booby trap. This single adaptation renders every human weapon obsolete in tight quarters. Then look at its sensory organs, or rather, the chilling lack thereof. The classic xenomorph head is an elongated, smooth, translucent dome. No visible eyes, no nose. This is not a biological deficiency. It's a massive evolutionary advantage. It perceives the world through electromagnetic signals, ambient vibrations, and highly tuned pheromones, making things like infrared, flashlights, or even visible movement completely ineffective. When you hide from it, you are only hiding from sight. It smells fear and sees the static electricity in your bones. And the jaw. The creature's bite is the epitome of over-engineering. It possesses a primary crushing set of teeth, backed by the pharyngeal jaw, a secondary muscular appendage that fires out with the kinetic force of a high-caliber bullet. It is the final signature of an engineered killer. It guarantees the kill, piercing bone, flesh, and combat helmet with terrifying ease. The exoskeleton itself is a polymer shield, capable of withstanding extreme temperatures and ballistic punishment. Every ridge, every pipe, every piece of its body is a cold, calculated answer to potential threats. If a xenomorph is on a mission, every single part of its anatomy is designed to ensure one outcome: survival and propagation. But what if all those physical traits were just camouflage? What if the most horrifying part of the creature is hidden beneath the surface, embedded in its very DNA? The xenomorph life cycle is what truly defines its status as the perfect organism. It is a terrifying biological assembly line with a 0% failure rate once the process begins. It begins, deceptively, with the ovomorph, the egg. These eggs are built to last. They can lie dormant for millennia in suspended animation, requiring only the proximity of a warm, viable host to awaken and unfurl their terrible petals. They are patience personified, the most reliable landmine in the cosmos. From the egg comes the facehugger. This is the most efficient assassin in the galaxy. It is purely an impregnation vector. It bypasses all your defenses with speed and sheer muscular strength. It paralyzes the host, uses an ovipositor to implant the embryo, and then, its job complete, it dies. A perfect suicide machine that guarantees the next stage will begin. And that next stage, the chest burster, is the creature's ultimate act of disrespect. While inside the host, the embryo rapidly develops, taking on traits from the host. This process is called praxis. It's quick, it's violent, and it destroys the host from the inside, inheriting both genetic traits and behavioral patterns from its former shell. This is why every xenomorph looks slightly different. It's a perfect evolutionary mirror of its victim. This entire process ensures that no matter where the xenomorph is deployed, it can rapidly establish a hive, a structure dictated by the enormous, terrifying presence of the queen, the singular focus of the entire species. The queen is the factory, protected by drones and warriors, capable of laying thousands of eggs, securing the local ecosystem's total destruction. But here is the dark secret that no one talks about. The real horror isn't the queen or the hive structure itself. It's the realization that this entire horrifying process is not random. It is not natural selection. It is a controlled, militarized deployment. Someone had to write the code for the facehugger. Someone had to design the queen. The terrifying process is a result of artificial, intelligent corruption. For decades, the xenomorph was believed to be an ancient natural predator, existing on some distant dark world. But in the 21st century, the true manufactured nature of its existence began to surface. The search for the origin had to go back further than the derelict ship on LV-426. We had to go to the engineers. The engineers are the original architects of life in the galaxy, including humanity. They seeded the stars, but their creation was not one of benevolence. It was one of control and ultimately cleansing. They are the grand sculptors of life, capable of both creating and destroying on a cosmic scale. What they primarily wielded was the black goo, a mutagenic pathogen contained in countless ceremonial vials. This goo is the genesis. It is the fundamental, primordial building block of weaponized life. When it interacts with a host, it doesn't just kill. It fundamentally corrupts and transforms the host's DNA into something else. In the case of the xenomorph, this is the horrifying truth. The engineers found the original terrifying form of the creature, a proto-organism, and then they weaponized it using the black goo. They took a concept and made it a tool of galactic destruction. They didn't intend to create monsters. They intended to create judgment. The xenomorph is therefore a corrupted, weaponized version of an older, more chaotic life form. It is a self-replicating, self-defending, self-sustaining biological bomb. It is the very definition of a biological WMD. And that leads us to the terrifying conclusion about its primary purpose. The xenomorph was never designed to simply hunt us. It was designed to terraform a planet by rapidly wiping out the intelligent life residing there. A biological reset button pressed by beings who saw humanity as a failed experiment that had become too ambitious. The xenomorph is the ultimate form of interstellar genocide. It is the last word in a cosmic debate about existence. The xenomorph is not a beast you can kill with fire or bullets. It's an idea, a weaponized concept that once deployed cannot be recalled. Its life cycle is designed to guarantee its survival by turning us into its own factories. Its true masters, the architects, see our existence as a cosmic mistake they need to fix. And the perfection of the xenomorph is proof that they possess the technology and the ambition to fix it. We are not fighting for survival. We are fighting against a predetermined extinction. If this deep dive into the hidden history of the galaxy's most perfect organism blew your mind, then you're probably ready for the deeper lore. Hit that subscribe button right now and make sure you turn on notifications. I publish new in-depth analysis on the deepest corners of sci-fi lore every single week. Don't miss out on the next one. And now for the big question. Which xenomorph host created the most terrifying, deadliest version of the creature? Was it the Praetorian, the Deacon, the Newborn? Let me know your theory in the comments section below. Next week, we trace the horrifying lineage of the Deacon, the creature born from an engineer's corrupted DNA, the one creature that almost doomed humanity to a silent extinction. You do not want to miss this.